I mean, you think about it. Here I'm talking to you, and I've only been, not even 3 months, and I'm using my left hand. I can gesture, I can do things. It's not super strong, but I can use it again. Today, I walk 30 feet on my own, without a device, without a wheelchair, without a walker. I mean, I never thought.
51-year-old Mike Gardner had only lived in Kingston for a month when he suffered a major stroke.
And it just seemed weird. I couldn't move. I started to get weak on my left side. We were about to have dinner, and I just said to my wife, call 911. Something's not going right here.
He was rushed by ambulance to Kingston General Hospital, where he was cared for by Canada's top stroke team.
So they got me down to the MRI machines in that area because they wanted to scan me and see where the stroke would be in my brain. And they kind of sensed that there was something that took place. They did x-rays and so on. And they gave me a special drug they use. They said that could help me progress, and it would maybe, they wouldn't guarantee, but they said it could possibly dissolve the clot. I got the sense from the 2 doctors that were taking care of me at the time that they were going to try to help me the best they could to help the clot dissolve and then help me recover, right? So, I went from a guy who was free-handed doing whatever I wanted to now I need to be lifted out of bed and put in a chair if I had to go to use the facilities. I need to have constant care, through all that within a couple hours, right? But this one nurse, Dave Smith, what a gem. I mean, he always was upbeat, positive. He talked to me about what the future could be, and he helped me appreciate that it's really all in my mind. If I let it defeat me, a problem I have in life, it probably will slow me down. But if I keep myself positive and start thinking about the good things that could happen, he said, I've seen people who've been here, they've gone over to St. Mary's in the rehab program, and he said, I've seen people who couldn't walk. He says, I'm not guaranteeing you that you're going to walk. He says, but I've seen people do that.
30 days later, Mike was discharged to the Specialized Rehabilitation Program at Providence Care's St. Mary's of the Lake site. That
was a whole different world. Even the ambulance ride over, the young woman that was in there as an attendant, she turned around and said, and I was propped up and I was sitting up looking out the window, and she says, you see that man right there? And I went, yeah. She goes, he came in here 3 months ago. He couldn't walk, he couldn't talk. Look at him. And there he was walking in the front of the building. Quite a few that were really keen on trying to help me out, and like Tim, one of the nurses there, and he, experienced it, and he said, really, it's up to you, buddy. It's up to your mind. You gotta, these things could happen. Make goals. Well, here I was looking around, and and then Krishna, one of the people that was assigned to me for rehab, he took me with a walker out, into my wheelchair out into the hallway, and then he says, okay, he had me standing up, and I was surprised I could stand, and he did a few things with me, and then another time I was with him, he had me stand up again, hanging onto a railing, and said, okay, here we go. And he helped coach me along with his foot. He was sitting on a chair. I was standing. I felt really unbalanced, and I could feel my left leg somewhat, and it wasn't moving. But he would move it along with his foot. He kind of, they know how to brace you and take care of you so you don't fall over. But next thing you know, here I was hanging on a railing. My right side's okay, and next thing you know, I'm going 1 step, 2 steps, and it was like I did 10 steps. I broke down. I gave him the biggest hug, because that was the first time that I realized there's an opportunity for me to walk again, and I can do it. So it was from that point on, I said, I am going to walk. So they really were retraining my brain is what they were doing. Taking that area that got wiped out, and they're helping me use other areas to take over and make it happen. But boy, I tell you, and when you win, and you know, those little wins you get, it's amazing how many of the people over at St. Mary's, they're there with you, like, way to go, wow, you were walking, wow, you were using, you know, a walker, you're on the wheelchair, propelling yourself with one leg and you're going around, way to go. So, you know, when I first started off, December 16th, you know, 2014, I didn't think I had a bright future. I thought that, you know, as a businessman, always traveling the world, I thought that, you know, I was going to be relegated to a wheelchair and I'd be sitting at home staring at a television or something like that. My thought today is so different, so different. You know, the people that have been in this program and have worked at it for many years and trained, I think like Dr. Bagg, you know, who runs the program, and Dr. Porter. You know, Dr. Bagg, I mean, he actually stops and talks to you. Most doctors, it's like, yeah, hi, how's it going? Yeah, okay, yeah, oh, yeah, good, and they're gone, right? This guy stops and has a conversation. He wants to see. And there were days where I'd see him like a week go by, and all of a sudden I'd see him go, hey, Dr. Bagg, you remember the name? Hey, Mike, how's it going? Then he'd come over, so what'd you learn today? What's going on? And then he would take the time and stop to see, well, how's your ankle working? How's your wrist working? Oh yeah, see, it's a little better. Scale on a little bit here, a little bit there. And
Today, Mike not only works to retrain his brain, but he's a big advocate for other patients and the rehabilitation program at Providence Care.
right, things happen to you that just, you get a worse day, but you can always turn it around. Things can be fixed and you can work at it. And that's what I learned through this program. I mean, it's amazing. But in order for a program to work, you need funding. You need people to put money behind it, because you know, the government's limited in its resources, and we as taxpayers know that, right? I mean, it's either we're going to be paying through the nose in taxes, or we're going to need people out there who have, you know, a hand at resources that are bigger, helping us, me, to contribute back to society. You're putting me as someone who's an active member back in the community, back into bringing something back. And, you know, it just exhilarates me. It makes me feel better, because I now feel good about myself, that I'm not just sitting back taking from the system, I'm giving to it.
You can help Mike and the many patients who he's cheering on through the purchase of rehabilitation or other equipment. Simply contact UHKF to find out how you can make a difference.
It benefited me. I'm still working at it. I still got a lot of, you know, road ahead, but I don't think I would be here today, 3 months later from my injury, if, you know, KGH, if St. Mary's, if Providence Care wasn't there with all those institutions making this happen. I'd probably be sitting in a hospital somewhere still, you know, and gradually moving forward. It moved it forward that much quicker. I'm home. My goodness, and I'm doing things that I thought I'd never do again. I'm not 100% there, but I will be. One day, I'm going to walk back into that place. I'm going to go up and hug and shake the hand of every single person that helped me and say, look what you did. Look what happens here. I know it will exhilarate them. It will exhilarate me.